It's just pretty here, man. Morning from Spearfish Canyon. This has been such a beautiful drive through here. I just wish that a lot more trees were alive. But this is Bridal Veil Falls. Well, that was stop number 1 on our Spearfish Canyon adventures. As you can see, it didn't really take much to get there. It is right off the highway here. And I feel like there's a Bridal Veil Falls in every state. Am I wrong? I feel like it's every state. Every state. Right, buddy? And this one's no different. That was cool. It was really pretty.
Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my...
So this is Roughlock Falls Trail. It goes along this river here, as most waterfall trails do. It's supposed to be pretty short. I think it's 1.5 miles. Definitely uphill. Seems to be the theme. This is supposed to be one of the prettier waterfalls in the area. So let's go check it out. I've made it. About 1.5 miles, no big deal. But I learned you could just drive here. So I could have just done that. Oh well. But these things are beautiful. Look at this. This is so pretty. It reminds me so much of Panther Creek Falls in Washington or Oregon, one of those two. With all the moss on the ground and the way that the water just kind of separates like that. It also makes me want to hike all the way back into that hole. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Well, this is cool. There's like a steep path that goes up the side of that sort of cliff or whatever that takes you on a new vantage point of the bigger waterfall. And here we are at the other vantage point, even higher. Oh, that looks so cool. I just want to go in that cave so bad. And one thing, have you noticed in all this footage, there's been 0 other people. It's the best. I love traveling in the off seasons. It makes finding campgrounds kind of a pain in the ass, but other than that, like all the attractions, places that you go, there's nobody here. It's awesome. And when you do find campgrounds, there's nobody in them. It's great. Good morning. I am finally leaving South Dakota, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit sad about it. I have been here for over 3 weeks, and I have had so many adventures in those 3 weeks. I know South Dakota gets traveled a lot and talked about, but I still think it's an underrated state. I don't think that people travel here enough. It is, I'm just blown away. Like, I almost don't want to leave. But with that being said, it's time to move on. Headed to Wyoming today. Going to Devil's Tower. I'm excited about Devil's Tower. Gonna do some hikes. Gotta find some campground. And I gotta find some coffee, man. I need some coffee. I feel like that's how every day should start. And I got up early enough. I could have made my own coffee, but I just went typical lazy bones. Stayed in bed and checked Instagram. All that kind of stuff. A little Candy Crush. So here we are. Moving on. Let's see what Devil's Tower has to offer. Woo! So I am currently 17 miles away from Devil's Tower. And I could see it already. That's crazy. I did not realize it was going to be that large. Well, as you can probably see behind me, I'm at Devil's Tower. And I am excited about that. This is the Tower Trail loop. I think it's like 1.5 miles. It loops all the way around the tower. Man, the tower is just staggering. I didn't realize how big it was. That's what she said. It's like 900 feet from its base, but I could literally see it from 17 miles away. So we're gonna see which, let's see which vantage point looks the prettiest on this thing. This is another spot that's considered sacred by the Native Americans. I think there's 6 tribes that lived in this area, sort of still the Plains Indians, Lakota probably being the most famous. But you'll still see all those little like prayer flags and offerings to the gods, which is really cool to see. All right, this is the vantage point I was looking for. Wow. I will say it does feel a little weird that the entire path is paved. But it's nice. Like I said, it lets more people do it. But this hike is beautiful. I mean, not just because you have Devil's Tower, this monstrosity looming up in the ground beside you, but also the trees. I feel like I'm finally in a green forest. Everything's just been dead for the most part on this trip. It's cool to see green grass, see green trees. Got a campsite here. I'm gonna stay 2 nights here and do some exploring in the morning. This is awesome. This particular hike is pretty cool because you get to be so close up to the structure itself. You can see all the rock that's fallen off of it. But you can't really get a good grasp on the basically the sheer magnitude of how large this thing is. So I'm excited to see the contrast of the longer loop tomorrow. I just have to do it really early in the morning because it's gonna be like 80 degrees tomorrow. So a cool story. The first people to climb this was in 1893, 2 guys, and they built a ladder from the base 900 feet to the top. And it was like a big spectacle on 4th of July in 1893 that they climbed it. And the cool thing is the ladder is still up there. And it's right on the, you can't really see it, but it's right on the east corner, like right over, right there. I think tomorrow I'm gonna come with some binoculars. I just wish I had like a really good zoom lens camera. One of these days. I'm gonna say this is my favorite vantage point so far. All the way around the opposite side. You can see the rocks. This is a cool area of the trail. Kind of goes through the boulder field. So this sculpture here, which is something that I really wanted to see, It's called the Wind Circle sculpture. The cool thing is it's a Japanese guy, designer, that designed these, and his father was a kamikaze pilot in World War II that managed to survive, which is crazy. And so he lived his life towards peace, and he instilled that into his son. And so it's a series of peace sculptures. I think he's gonna do like 9 of them across the world at certain cool points. Pretty though, right? Currently, the other places where these sculptures are Vatican City and the place where Buddha reached enlightenment, somewhere in India. Neat though. So I got substantially lucky because today is the first day that the campground is open here at Devil's Tower. Also, tonight is a blood moon. It is a total lunar eclipse. That's going to be exciting. The only bad thing is going to happen right back there. And Devil's Tower is right there. So I suppose I could hike all the way around it and get some cool pictures. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to continue cooking. Making some chicken johnnyaki tonight. Some chicken thighs. Sauteing some onions, garlic, pepper. Holy Trinity. All that good stuff. Because they didn't have boneless, skinless thighs, which is what I usually buy. So I took the skin off the thighs and fried them up separately. And I'm not gonna lie, it's delicious. Not healthy. So this is the other trail. This is the Red Beds Trail. This one's like, I think it's 3 miles. But it gives you just a completely different perspective. Devil's Tower, you can see it there. To my left and then to my right is the river. And the cool thing that I learned is that Devil's Tower is going to continue to grow because it was formed from this river right here. So as this river flows, it continues to carve it into what it's going to become. Even bigger. Oh, also, prairie dogs. In a prairie dog town right now. And I love that they call them towns. I hear you. So I would definitely say, if you're here for one day, do the 2 trails. Do the Tower Trail for sure. See it up close. And then this Red Buds Trail. Steeper. A lot more work. But worth it. You can see a really cool perspective. Also, there's nobody on this trail. Tower Trail is packed, always. And I haven't come across a single other hiker. Let's go, Red Buds. What are you doing, little guy? You're so close to the trail. What are you doing, buddy? Oh, yeah? Tell me more. That's right. I barely know what to say about this adventure. From the breathtaking views of Devil's Tower, including the beautiful drive from the Black Hills, to taking afternoon naps and some much-needed warmth with my dog, to hiking out into the darkness to try to capture this incredible lunar eclipse. This adventure is the quintessential reason for why I travel, for why I put in all the work, for why I sacrifice, and why I save. This iconic landmark will forever be burned in my memories, and that one time I sat in a dark, lonely field all night to experience this blood moon eclipse in a certified dark park. Until next time, focus on your passions, whatever they may be. Work harder than you ever thought you could to embrace those passions. Be undeniable, and keep exploring life with an open mind.
Let's make up a big bonfire on the beach with the stars as our lighters, and throw our problems in the flame. Throw our problems in the flame.